Hey everyone, I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. Whether you're hanging out on the weekends, getting ready for school, or just curious about how this amazing body of yours works, you are definitely in for a treat. Today, we're diving into an explainer on a really fascinating devotional. Now, for the 10-year-olds out there, and honestly for all of us really, when we hear the word superpower, we usually think about flying, turning invisible, or, shooting lasers from our eyes. But what if I told you that you already have a superpower? It's a spiritual superpower, and unlocking it entirely depends on something you might not expect: taking care of your physical body. Seriously, it's a game changer. Let's explore exactly how this incredible connection works.
Think about this for a second. Have you ever tried to do your math homework or maybe solve a really tough puzzle when you are just super sleepy? Or how about right after eating way too much junk food and you kind of feel like a slug? Your brain gets all fuzzy, right? You stare at a basic addition problem and it literally looks like an alien language. Well, that feeling of a foggy brain is exactly what this devotional is talking about. Our physical state completely dictates how our brain operates. When our body's exhausted or filled with the wrong things, our brain just can't do its best work. Okay, let's dive into section 1, God's amazing living temple. So, the devotional uses a really cool comparison to help us wrap our heads around why our physical health is absolutely crucial. It doesn't just call your body a body, no way. It calls it something much grander. It introduces the idea that your physical body is actually a highly valuable, holy fortress, a living temple. To back this up, the devotional brings in this very historical, very serious quote from the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17. It says, "If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy, for the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are." Now, I know that sounds intense, right? But it's meant to be. It's telling us that our bodies aren't just biological accidents. They are sacred. They're holy temples. You know, when you hear the word temple, you probably picture a giant stone building, maybe with huge pillars, gold statues, and those pretty stained glass windows. But this text totally redefines the temple as your incredible living body. It says that God's law is written by his own finger upon every nerve, every single muscle, and every fiber of your being. Think of it kind of like computer code. God wrote his own incredible code directly into your nerves and muscles. Because of that, these aren't just parts you can treat however you want. They are incredible gifts meant to be used for his honor and glory, not abused by bad physical habits. Moving right along to section 2, the mind-body connection. So, how does this living castle actually work? This is a fascinating part of our explainer. It's all about the mechanics of the mind-body connection. You see, what happens to the outside walls of this fortress, your physical body, completely changes how safe and clear the treasures are on the inside, which is your mind and your soul. The devotional says the relationship between your body and your mind is very intimate, and that they are in sympathy. Now, what does in sympathy actually mean? It just means if one feels something, the other feels it too. Look, if you smash your thumb with a hammer, your physical body hurts, for sure, but your mind also gets totally upset and can't focus on anything else. It's the exact same thing with bad habits. When you hurt your physical health, your mind actually feels the damage. It loses its sharpness and struggles to understand deep, sacred truths. Which leads us to one of the most powerful takeaways from this entire text. True religion and the laws of health go hand in hand. Taking care of your physical health isn't just some boring rule your doctor or your parents give you so you'll grow big and strong. According to this devotional, it is a core part of your spiritual strength. You literally cannot separate being spiritually strong from trying your best to be physically healthy. They're teammates working together. All right, section 3, the danger of foggy brains. But what happens when we forget all this? When those teammates stop working together? When we let careless self-degradation, which is really just a fancy way of saying treating our bodies poorly on purpose, take over, it causes major glitches inside our living temple. It triggers a step-by-step chain reaction. It starts with step 1, ignoring health laws. Maybe you stay up way too late, eat things you know make you feel awful, or just refuse to go outside. Then, step 2, your intellect gets clouded. Hello, foggy brain. Because your brain is foggy, step 3 kicks in. Your moral powers weaken. You just don't have the mental energy to make strong, good choices. And that leads to the scariest part. Step 4, sin doesn't look sinful anymore. A simple bad physical choice eventually breaks down your defenses so much that doing the wrong thing spiritually looks, well, totally harmless. And when your intellect is clouded by those bad habits, the text points out something pretty sad. The most ennobling, grand, and glorious themes of God's Word start to seem like just idle tales. Basically, to a foggy brain, the most amazing stories from God's Word start to seem boring, fake, or totally unimportant. You lose your sense of wonder. Your brain just lacks the clarity to see how incredible and true those sacred stories really are. Let's look at section 4, protecting the good seed. This is exactly why we need to talk about protecting our fortress. Because when the walls of a castle are weakened and the guards, your moral powers, are asleep, it becomes incredibly easy for a thief to sneak in and steal your greatest treasure. The devotional issues a massive warning here. When our minds are clouded, the enemy can easily snatch away the good seed. That good seed, it represents all the truths, the good lessons, and the love that has been planted in your heart. The enemy can steal it right out from under you because an unhealthy, foggy soul is in absolutely no condition to comprehend the true value of what it holds. I mean, if you don't realize you're holding a diamond, you aren't going to stop someone from taking it, right?
Now for section 5, training for the future.
Now, I don't want you to feel scared by any of this. I want you to feel empowered. Kind of like an athlete getting ready for the championship game, we have to prepare ourselves for the future right now, today. The devotional reminds us of the stakes, stating, "We are living in a most solemn, awful moment of this earth's history." Quick note, back when this was written, awful often meant full of awe, like incredibly serious and important. The text is warning us against treating our bodies ruthlessly, because we have a highly serious account to render to God in the great day of trial just ahead of us. How we treat our bodies today prepares us to stand strong during the tough challenges of tomorrow. And this brings us to a huge danger called the trap of convenience. This is so important for kids and adults alike. Have you ever done something just because it was easy or convenient, even though you knew it wasn't the best choice for your body? The text warns that disregarding strict integrity just because it's convenient actually hardens your conscience. It's literally like training your brain to ignore the right path. Treating your body poorly just because it's easy paves the way for you to give in to much bigger, worse spiritual temptations later on. You're basically training your choice muscles every single day.
So, I want to leave you with this big, important thought to wrap up our explainer. Remember, every single time you choose to take care of your amazing living castle by eating right and staying active, you aren't just being healthy. You are keeping your moral powers sharp, and you are charging up your incredible spiritual superpower. So, how will you choose to care for your holy temple today?